It's time to be about that life, the startup life. Here's your host, Dominic Lawson.
All right, Startup Nation, so I hope you're ready to receive some value today. My name is Dominic Lawson, and this is The Startup Life. For those of you who were here and listened to the show last week, we just want to say thank you for coming back. Clearly, we gave you some great value on last week, and we're going to hope to continue to do that moving forward. So I just want to say a quick thank you to my guy G on the boards over there. He's been trying to get me right for radio. We've been doing this for 3 years now. When, podcasting, you can just kind of go on and on and on. But when it comes to radio, you have time constraints and stuff like that. So
it's similar. It's a similar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get there. But I want to introduce today's guest. He is a certified high performance coach. I want to make sure I get that right. And he is also the founder of Epiphany Consultant LLC. I want to give it up for my big man, Ojinga Carr. What's going on, boss man?
What's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here. I just love being in the space with great people.
I hear that.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's awesome stuff.
Man. I hear that. That's what's up. That's it. You ready to pour some knowledge in the Startup Nation today?
I am.
All right, let's do it, man. So first things first, man. Let's start with your origin story on your path to entrepreneurship up until this point.
So for me, I was always in sports, and so I was always a part of teams, and so that was a big thing for me. I played football, basketball, and baseball growing up, and so I just always wanted to be able to figure out how I could be part of a team, being able to figure out how I could grow more and help people grow more. So I was in corporate America, and I was in a position that we like to call the slash position, where I was the manager / HR / payroll / janitor / had all these multiple things that I was doing.
Like
exactly. So yeah, right. Exactly.
America, I got you.
And so a lot of people understand that because they're having to do all these multiple roles in their life and everything.
Right.
And so I got the opportunity to, really experience that corporate world. And I wanted to be able to step away from that and help small businesses be able to do more. So I started my own consulting firm way back in 2008, so 12 years ago now.
Ooh, okay.
And started working with businesses and helping figure out how do we do more, how do we have more, how do we create more in our life.
Gotcha. Well, let me ask you a quick follow-up because you said you started the company 12 years ago, 2008, and everybody in Startup Nation knows what was going on in this country in 2008. You're talking about big-time recession, one of the worst that we've had, since the Great Depression, as they say, stuff like that. So to start a company around that time, man, that's kind of courageous. Try to talk about that time a little bit for your company.
Well, that was it was bad timing for me, honestly.
Okay.
I got started right before the recession started to happen. So I guess I should have been reading the news a little bit more. My family was like, "Why are you leaving this good paying job that you're leaving to go get started in your own business?"
Right.
But honestly, from great tragedies like that, there's always great opportunity as well. Absolutely. And so really recessions to me and downturns in the market are really just ways of shaking out businesses that aren't doing things well. Absolutely. Everybody can succeed in an upswing. Everybody can make money when the when real estate when the money is right and they're giving away money for everything.
Absolutely.
It's about how you structure and slimline your business. And when bad times, that's what shakes out all the fakes, honestly.
For sure.
It gets you to a place where you can really be able to make it. So yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And one of the biggest takeaways I take from that Startup Nation is that there's always opportunities when it seems like there's turbulence in the air and stuff like that. There's always opportunities for you and your business or even start a business in that regard. So I appreciate all of that for sure. So I want to ask you this, man, because, we've talked quite often about, your path and stuff like that. And I know one of the biggest influence are your parents. I know your mom was a teacher for a while and stuff like that. And you do a lot of teaching with your consulting firm. Kind of talk about the biggest impact that your parents pressed upon you that you stress upon your clients and stuff.
Well, I was lucky. I hit the lottery with my parents.
Gotcha.
I got, I from the time that I was 6 all the way through college, my parents never missed an academic or athletic contest that I ever had. And so that meant if we were in Florida playing a football game, they were in Florida. My teammates knew to never ask me for player tickets because my parents would always be there. And so they were really just ultimately supportive and really great. And so my father passed away in 2007, but he imparted in me so much wisdom about life. So I'm really a mix of those of my mom and my dad. And so, my mom was sad because eventually out of college, I taught for a year in high school, and she was sad when I left the teaching profession because that's the family business. My mom's a teacher, my sister's a teacher as well too. Mm-hmm. But I still get the opportunity to still teach now. And so that's one of the things. So having that energy and wanting to be able to figure out how to be able to help people. That's where I get my buzz from. I mean, it's my destiny to help people realize their limitless potential,
right,
while also realizing my own. And so that's a huge thing. Yeah, absolutely.
The infamous double win.
That is a double win.
I hear that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Let me ask you one quick question before we go to break. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that, you work with a lot of HR professionals around the country and stuff like that, and many people who start companies and start businesses, like you said, like you did, slash this, slash that, wear many hats. What are one of those things that, when an entrepreneur has that HR hat on, what is some of those do's and don'ts that they should keep in mind when they're, onboarding clients or wherever the case may be? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, one of the biggest things that we have to do is that what happens, Dominic, is that so many people are good at a trade, but aren't very good at business.
Right.
And so HR is one of those things that's kind of an afterthought, but it should be one of the first things you think about. When you're adding people to your team, you need to understand what are the rules and the laws that I have that are in front of me that I have to be able to follow. We need to understand the difference between independent contractors and employees. So many of us, we live in this gig society now. Everybody's gigging. We were talking about Uber earlier.
Right.
So everybody's got a gig, right? Everybody's going in on a gig and they're doing whatever, right? But the thing is that there's rules and laws for a reason that says that someone, if they do these certain things, that they're an employee for you. And so you should have things like job descriptions. You should understand what is it that you're expecting this person to do and what is it you expect from yourself. We should have things like handbooks. Those things are really important. Those aren't just things that we see on TV. There's some weird thing that's on The Office or whatever, okay?
Right.
We have to make sure that we actually have structure in our business and make sure we get those things done. So that's a big thing.
I hear that. So Startup Nation, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask Ojinga about a hot topic when it comes to minimum wage in this country. You are listening to The Startup Life on KWAM The Voice, AM 990, 107.9 FM. Startup Nation, we tell you all the time that no one does anything great on their own. That includes starting a business or a nonprofit, or even becoming a thought leader or an influencer. My point is that you need a team to do it successfully and responsibly, and that is why you should contact DR & Associates. Danielle and her team provide branding solutions, along with digital and social media marketing that provide tangible results you are looking for. No matter if you are a Fortune 500 company or an author looking to make an impact, DR & Associates needs to be part of your team. They are one of the few firms whose leadership has been recognized by Google, which is proof of concept that they are very good at what they do. Contact DR & Associates today to grow your online presence. The number is 615-933-3681, or you can visit their website at drandassociates.com. Also, make sure you follow their Facebook page as well. DR & Associates, providing real clients with real results. This episode of The Startup Life is also brought to you by our amazing partners at SCORE Memphis. Look, entrepreneurship is hard, and there is nothing like a mentor that can help you navigate those waters. And that is what SCORE provides. SCORE mentors provide years of expertise and have resources that will have you flourishing and profitable on your path to entrepreneurship. If you are in need of a mentor, give SCORE a call. The number is 901-544-3588, or go to their website at memphis.score.org. The link is there in the show notes. Startup Nation, Kenda and I, along with our daughter Zoe, have this thing called Target Fridays if she's had a good week at school. We stop by the snack bar for popcorn and mermaid ices. Startup Nation, don't judge me until you've tried them. Those ices are really good. Anyways, we then head over to the toy section so my daughter can add to her LOL doll collection. My daughter is a pretty good student, so you can imagine that we have spent a small fortune on LOL dolls. However, I can take solace in the fact that Target makes it affordable to buy those LOL dolls and anything else we need as a family. That's because Target believes you deserve quality at an affordable price. And when you're entrepreneurs like us,
That's extremely important. But great deals and quality products are not exclusive to the brick and mortar version of the retail store. Target.com has even more exclusive deals that you can appreciate. And when you spend over $35, shipping is free. And I know we all love free shipping. We love to purchase the amazing kids' clothes for Zoe from the exclusive to Target Cat and Jack line when we go online. So the next time you listen to the show and you are reminded that you need something for your home, start your Target journey with the link in our show notes, where you can expect more and pay less.
Welcome back, Startup Nation, to the Startup Life on KWAM, The Voice, AM 990. So, Ojinga, man, we were talking a little bit off air about coaching, stuff like that. I was talking to G about, like, coaching, getting some in-game coaching, talking about, stuff like that. Talk about why that's important, because, this is National Mentoring Month here in January, coaching, mentoring, stuff like that. Talk about the importance of coaching.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I am going to war this year in 2020 on fake coaches.
Okay.
And so the reason why I say that, and it's not about hating on anybody else or anything along those lines, coaching gets a really bad name. And see, because I grew up in sports, then coaching was always something that was really important to me.
Right.
Okay. Because I would have never learned how to be able to hit a baseball if I didn't have a coach, or shoot a jump shot, balance, eyes forward, elbow straight, follow through, the beef. Yeah. The beef, exactly. Everything as far as that, right? With that, none of those things without coaches. So in your life, we live in a time where you have these people who have expertise who can help you.
Right.
But we just need to be able to seek it and find it. But too many people call themselves coaches, and it's really just code word for unemployed. And so it just is.
It is what it is.
It just is what it is, right? And so because if you are coaching, but you're not growing and you're not getting coached yourself and you're not consistently learning, then how is it that you can help anybody else? You might have 20 years of experience in HR, right? Mm-hmm. But how is it that you can really help a business if you don't recognize that the laws just changed here January the 1st, that there's going to be shift, that minimum wage goes up, that it changes in different places, different things along those lines. So you have to be constantly learning and growing. And so if you're going to help people, if what you have in your heart is to help people, then you have to have a coach. I never trust a coach without a coach, honestly.
Gotcha.
Because you have to have somebody else who's teaching you and helping you be able to learn and be able to do that. So that's huge. Yeah.
Cool. And you heard it here first. Ojinga Carr is going to war on fake coaches. It's important though, because it's like you're when you're a coach, there's a certain level of responsibility with clients, right? And so if you're leading them down the wrong path, and then you just dip out, now that person just kind of left,
absolutely
left hanging, right? So that's, and then
they have a sour taste in their mouth about what coaching is.
About the next coach,
exactly. So yeah, it ruins it for everybody.
Right. Absolutely. Once again, we're here with Ojinga Carr here on the Startup Life, certified high performance coach. I want to ask you this, man, because you talk to HR professionals around the country and stuff like that. And right now, there's a hot topic about minimum wage, $15 an hour, stuff like that. Do they deserve it? Do they not deserve it? Kind of share your thoughts on that, man, because I know this has to come up when you talk to HR professionals.
Absolutely. Well, we're here in the great state of Tennessee, which does not have a minimum wage. They go by the federal minimum wage of $7.25.
Right.
And so many states have done that. I am a big believer in at least $15 for the minimum wage.
Gotcha.
The reason is because you can't live off of what the minimum wage is in most of the states that are here. You think about it in Memphis. So if you're going to work one full-time job, I'm breaking stuff here.
It's all good. It's all good. That's the beauty of live radio, man. You get what you get.
Just angry about it. Just bang my fist on the table.
Gotcha.
But the thing is that if you think about it, if you're going to make $7.25 an hour, right, and you're going to work 40 hours a week, so that means you're going to earn $280 before taxes, a little bit more before taxes, right? You take taxes out if you get any sort of health insurance, anything along those lines. What is it that you're going to be taking home? So if you take home $200 a week out of that, you're taking home $800 a week. If your rent is $500, which is low, then what are you going? You have $300 left, so you got to work 2 jobs just to be broke. And so that's the thing. How do you ever expect anyone to grow? How do we expect our country to be better? How do you expect people to take legal avenues to work?
Right.
Because what someone would say was, it's easier for me to sit at home and not work. It's easier for me to be in the streets. It's easier for me to make these other choices. And so if we really want to prevent there being a permanent underclass in our country, then we have to uplift and pay more money. It's not that organizations don't have the money to pay it. They can pay more money. Then you can be more selective with who it is you hire. Otherwise, here's the thing. You pay with churn in the organization. It costs 4 times a core employee salary to actually replace that core employee with another core employee. Quickly, to define what a core employee is, that's someone who's been with the organization for 2 or more years.
Gotcha.
Once someone's been with you for 2 or more years, you pretty much know what to expect from them. They pretty much know what to expect from you. We know we're going to get out of that position. So if you're constantly churning in your organization at whatever your company is, if you're constantly turning people over, you got to retrain that person. They got to make some mistakes. They got to lose some money. They got to mess up. They got to mess up the cash register. You got to fix it with that. We have to do all these different things. So by the time you finish doing all that, if you paid somebody more money and you kept them in the position, you'd be in a better spot.
So basically, to paraphrase a famous blues song, it's cheaper to keep.
Cheaper to keep her.
Gotta hear that.
It's cheaper to keep her. Absolutely. That's absolutely true.
For sure.
Yes.
So let's go back to 2008 just for a little bit because, we talked about, you started the company 12 years ago, 2008, big time recession, stuff like that. Kind of talk about the transition from corporate America to building the company, but more so the importance of like the infrastructure of the business, because you're a service business, right? Not necessarily a product business.
Right.
Talk about the transition of gaining clients, the transition of pricing your service and stuff like that. Kind of talk about that a little bit.
So Dominic, one of the biggest things, one of the first things to remember is that you cannot treat your business like a job. I've got to be so unbelievable, because see, here's how it works at a job. At a job, you work just hard enough not to get fired. And they pay you just enough for you not to quit. That's how it works, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's the way a job relationship is. If you treat your business like a job, then what happens is that now you are, if you don't work, you don't eat. So if you don't have set office hours, if you don't set, because like, here's the thing, and when you start your own business, your family thinks you're unemployed. That's the way it works.
That's
okay.
true.
They look at you and say, well, he ain't doing no work at home. So
Right.
like, he can pick the kid up, he can do this, he can do these different things, he can do all those different pieces. And so that's what happens, right? And so you get all those different things that go on. And so you've got to set structure in your business. It's one of the big things, okay? So then you also have to set up and make sure that you always have a sales funnel, okay? If you are in business for yourself, you are in the sales business.
Absolutely.
It does not matter. If you're a nonprofit, you're still in the sales business, because you have to have people who are going to donate to your nonprofit. We have to be setting up programs in order to do it. If you're dealing with products, then you have to sell so many products and so many widgets per month that says to do that. And for me, with services, we have to make sure that we are putting out enough of the different campaigns, enough of different things with that, so that we're doing it's always about IGA. What IGA is income generating activities.
I hear that.
Okay. So we should always be doing IGA. And if it's not IGA income generating activities, it's IGA inspiration generating activities. In some way, we have to be inspiring or gaining income.
I hear that. Thank you for sharing that. And Startup Nation, what I hear in that answer, one of the things that really stick out for me is that providing yourself that protected time. Because like you said, a lot of times when family members or friends hear, I just started a new company, they hear unemployed, right? And so they think they can ask you to go pick up the kid, pick up the laundry, or whatever the case may be. But I think it's also important to make sure you press upon your friends and families like, look, I need this protected time so that way we can grow this thing, get it to scale, stuff like that. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
Ojinga, for sure. So I want to ask you this, man, because I feel like, and it's kind of going to take up a wrestling theme a little bit here, but bear with me.
We're in
here.
Memphis, hey.
For sure. Absolutely, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But, I feel like we have Startup Nation and we have Team Crushing It here, combining the mega powers here in the studio here. But talk about, what is Team Crush It? What are the characteristics to be part of Team Crush It? Talk about that a little bit.
So, the reason why we started Team Crushing It is that what Team Crushing is about is we're crushing those obstacles that are in front of our goals.
Right.
Okay? We're crushing those timelines. We're getting there faster than we ever thought we were going to get there. And we're crushing life. That's something that has been something that's been a part of me back from the sports days. Dominic, the thing is that as wonderful as it is to be able to run events, as wonderful as it is to be able to do different things that we do, there has never been any energy that I felt like being in front of a stadium and being on a football field, making that great block or whatever. So to be able to pull a little bit of that energy, that's the reason why we have the belt that we have at our events, the different things as far as that. We do those things,
We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
That's what I'm saying. That's it. And so that's the reason why we do it, is because it's about that. And people might feel like it's hyper masculine, but it's really not hyper masculine. It's just that energy. It's just that, because the ladies get into it just as much as the guys do, honestly, as far as with it. It's just about crushing it. It's not about we're the toughest. It's just like, I want to crush that obstacle. There's this thing that's been in front of me. There's this thing that's been stopping me.
Right.
And I want to be able to get not only get past it, but get rid of it. And so that's what it is. It's about crushing those things and being able to get it knocked out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Ojinga, you have a book, Your Limitless Life. And Startup Nation, you can get that book on Amazon. We have a link in the show notes if you listen to it on the podcast, stuff like that. But you also have a new book that you're working on, right?
Absolutely.
Kind of talk about that a little bit, if you would.
Man, it's exciting. It's my 4th book.
Okay.
And I'm just so excited about it. It's called The Success Recipe.
Okay.
And it's called Dream, Believe, Work, Achieve, Repeat. That's what the success recipe is. It is dream, believe, work, achieve, repeat. And Dominic, my thing is that I not only wanted to just put my theory and my thoughts about success and leadership, I wanted to be able to make this community and be able to produce something that, understand this, there's books that teach you something.
Right.
That's great. They teach you something. That's great. They teach you things with that. All right. And then there's books where it transforms you. And so you read it and it transforms your thoughts and your mind. What we're aiming for is the highest level of education, which is a book that transcends time.
Gotcha.
That's something that somebody would pick up in 2030 and 2040 and 2050 and they'll get something from. So what we're doing is that we have co-authors along with this book, and we are allowing them to write a chapter in this book. We're giving them a really good form of how to be able to do it. It's a really great way of how we're creating it and doing it, and we're putting it together. We're going to launch it at my event. And my event, I Dream I Achieve Academy Live, is coming here to Memphis, March 5th through the 7th here in Memphis, and we're going to launch that book there. It's going to be amazing. I have a few slots left for co-authors in that book. And so they can go to successbook2020.com and fill out an application to apply. And we have our team working through the applications. We've had a ton of applications come through. But it's about, if you really want to share with people about what does success look like to you? What is your brand as far as success? What is your brand about leadership? Who taught you about leadership and success? How did you come to this? And how are we going to pass that forward? That's the thing that's huge. And so I'm super excited. If you can't tell, I'm super excited about it. We have some amazing stories that we have in this book already. And so it's going to be terrific.
I hear that. So Startup Nation, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that event as well. You're listening to The Startup Life on KWAM The Voice, AM 990, 107.9 FM.
Startup Nation, we tell you all the time that no one does anything great on their own. That includes starting a business or a nonprofit, or even becoming a thought leader or an influencer. My point is that you need a team to do it successfully and responsibly. And that is why you should contact DR & Associates. Danielle and her team provide branding solutions, along with digital and social media marketing that provide tangible results you are looking for. No matter if you are a Fortune 500 company or an author looking to make an impact, DR & Associates needs to be part of your team. They are one of the few firms whose leadership has been recognized by Google, which is proof of concept that they are very good at what they do. Contact DR & Associates today to grow your online presence. The number is 615-933-3681, or you can visit their website at drandassociates.com. Also, make sure you follow their Facebook page as well. DR & Associates, providing real clients with real results. This episode of The Startup Life is also brought to you by our amazing partners at SCORE Memphis. Look, entrepreneurship is hard, and there is nothing like a mentor that can help you navigate those waters. And that is what SCORE provides. SCORE mentors provide years of expertise and have resources that will have you flourishing and profitable on your path to entrepreneurship. If you are in need of a mentor, give SCORE a call. The number is 901-544-3588, or go to their website at memphis.score.org. The link is there in the show notes. Startup Nation, Kenda and I, along with our daughter Zoe, have this thing called Target Fridays if she's had a good week at school. We stop by the snack bar for popcorn and mermaid ices. Startup Nation, don't judge me until you've tried them. Those ices are really good. Anyways, we then head over to the toy section so my daughter can add to her LOL doll collection. My daughter is a pretty good student, so you can imagine that we have spent a small fortune on LOL dolls. However, I can take solace in the fact that Target makes it affordable to buy those LOL dolls and anything else we need as a family. That's because Target believes you deserve quality at an affordable price. And when you're entrepreneurs like us, That's extremely important. But great deals and quality products are not exclusive to the brick and mortar version of the retail store. Target.com has even more exclusive deals that you can appreciate. And when you spend over $35, shipping is free. And I know we all love free shipping. We love to purchase the amazing kids' clothes for Zoe from the exclusive to Target Cat and Jack line when we go online. So the next time you listen to the show and you are reminded that you need something for your home, start your Target journey with the link in our show notes, where you can expect more and pay less.
Welcome back to the Startup Life here on KWAM. We are talking to a Jenga car, high performance certified high performance coach. I'm gonna get it right. I swear I am. I promise I'm gonna get it right for sure. But look, man, let's talk about your events, because I know you do 3 events a year, right? And now you got I Dream, I Achieve, Academy coming up soon. Kind of talk about that, the value that participants are going to get and things of that nature.
So this is year 3 for us with events, of running events, and I traveled across the country. I've taught tens of thousands of leaders across the country in 49 states. 3 countries, got to say that as well too. And so what I wanted to do was bring high-level events here to Memphis. High-level events, deep teaching events, where we really spend time, where you can spend 3 days with us and change your life. And so that's really what it is. It's like, spend 3 days with us, change your life, change what it is that we're doing. So we run now 2 events that we run live here in Memphis. IDIA Live, I Dream, I Achieve Live, which I have an online course called I Dream, I Achieve. And so we have IDIA Live. That's IDIAlive.com that we run that. And that's on March 5th through the 7th. It's always Spring Forward Weekend is when it is, because we want to spring forward in our life.
Gotcha.
So it's always Spring Forward Weekend. And when we do that, exactly. That's it. And then we run Limitless, which we ran in October. And the Limitless Summit is all about how do we create that limitless life for ourselves. What we're doing with IDIA, though, this year is big. It's all about sales language is what it really is. It's about sales language, because sales is life, Dominic. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get your daughter to go to sleep. It's still a sales situation.
Right.
If we're trying to date out here in this world, it's still a sales situation or whatever, as far as that.
Absolutely.
And so what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you about influence. Understand, there's only 3 ways you influence people. You either teach them how to think, you role model the way, or you challenge them. If someone has ever influenced you in your life, they did one of those 3 things, whether they knew it or not. So they teach you how to think. So you educate people on what it is your thoughts are, and they're like, oh, well, that thought, I can understand that thought. You role model the way, because they see you doing something so great or whatever, or they see your people doing something so great, then they role model and do it. That can be positive or negative. We see that in our community all the time.
Absolutely.
And then, or you challenge them. So you challenge someone to be able to challenge them to move forward and to move past their thoughts. We're going to teach you how to be able to use that in your business and in your life. So whether you're running a business or not, if you're in a leadership position in the business or not, this event is worth you investing your time in. That 3rd event you were talking about is we used to run called the Breakthrough Accelerator Bootcamp.
Gotcha.
We actually changed that to a retreat that we run. And so last year was the first year that we ran it. We were in a $1 million house in the mountains of Hot Springs, Arkansas. It was beautiful. It was great.
Talk about breakthrough.
That's a breakthrough. That's what it is. It was about having that breakthrough. I mean, we went and had spa day and all kinds of really great stuff along with it, with horseback riding. So it's about taking yourself away from that and being able to do it. So we've done that. But the 2 big, large-scale events that we run here in Memphis now, IDIA, which is coming up very soon, and then also Limitless as well. So, yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. And I'm glad you're going to focus on sales, because you're absolutely right. Like I had to sell you on coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Right? I had to sell.
It was an easy sell because I wanted to be here.
Fair enough. I still had to sell it.
Exactly.
I still had to sell it, though. And so you're absolutely right. Like, whether we like it or not, sales takes many different forms. It's not always like monetary transaction, right? So even in an interview, you're selling yourself.
Absolutely.
Right. So no, I appreciate.
And let me step to that for 1 second. What you're saying with that. That what is great about that. The reason why you didn't have to sell me is because the pre-sale was done already, because you had already role modeled the way of what it was that you were doing.
Man, stop making me blush.
I'm telling you, man. That's it. That's what's up. The pre-sale was done, and so that's the thing. In your life already, there's a pre-sale. Like. Somebody wants to date you because of how it is you already presented yourself.
I hear that.
They already saw who you were.
That's so true.
And so now they've already made that decision that they want you. You don't have to sell them.
It's like you basically did some of the work on the front end.
Exactly.
Right.
Some of us, we did such bad work on the front end that we got to work our way into the situation for such a long time. That's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying. And so it's like that no matter your business. So your business is sloppy. You don't answer the phone. You don't return the stuff. You don't do whatever. So somebody's like, they're kind of shady. But somebody like you handle your business up front. You do your stuff the right way. Everybody's like, oh, well, I want to be with him, and that's the same thing. That's how it was. That's how it was when we were talking about it with you. It was like, yo, wherever you want to be, cool. If you want to go do the show in the closet, cool. That's cool because I know your content.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
what it is.
Hold on, let me fan this microphone a little bit. If you're looking on Facebook right now, I'm fanning the microphone because it's spitting hot fire right now, right? No, but it's so true.
That's what it is.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true, man.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you sharing all of that for sure. The check is in the mail, by the way, for all those nice things.
That's all
you
good,
said.
man. This is about you, man. Seriously.
I hear that. But let me ask you this, man. You know, anybody who comes on the Startup Life, powered by KWAM, The Voice, they know that, like, you know, I do some research, you know, and so, you know, I went on your LinkedIn page a little bit,
I saw that.
you know, stuff like that. And I read one of your articles. I want to ask you this because you talk about the difference between peak performers, right, and ones that are always constantly trying to get there, right? Kind of talk about the difference between the two, if you would.
So let me spit sports with you here. We just watched the football game last night with Clemson.
High performance mindset,
right?
peak performance mindset.
Right,
That's what
exactly. Two things, right? No, it's all good. I saw where you were going with it. So I played football in college, and it was all about peak performance. So you look at like LSU and Clemson last night. Okay, so LSU and Clemson, they had to ramp up for a game for 2 weeks, right?
Right.
So you get up, you prepare. They prepared for the game, and you want to be at your peak level for that 3 or 4 hours, and then immediately it starts to fall off because you can't possibly be that hype and that going in your life.
Right.
You're going to go kill somebody. That's just what it is. They're all tackling people as far as that.
Exactly.
Well, we are not in fight or flight response where we have to go try to tackle somebody in our business, in our life. But we do have to be ready to do is to be ready to perform highly. So high performance is about being at a constant level of high performance and then putting systems in place in order to be able to level up in those systems and say, okay, and now you have systems in place where you can kind of cruise. My dad used to say to me all the time that an airplane burns its most fuel upon takeoff. So what you're doing is you're taking off and then coming down. So I was doing that all the time. You like those sound effects. That was a plane. That was a plane. Okay. All right. For those of you not watching, okay. So like it is. So what it is that you take off and then you come back down. And so you're burning all this fuel, Dominic, and you're burning all, and you're up and you do good.
Right.
And then we let off the gas and then we come back down. And now we got to burn. What if you could get up and constantly have something refueling you? And constantly be able to level up and be refueled and then take yourself higher. Right. That's what high performance is about. I love peak performance. It's really great for being ready for athletics and those different pieces with that. But I studied high performance from the greatest coach, one of the greatest coaches in the world, Brendan Burchard. That's my coach. He's Oprah's coach too. So I mean, I think he's pretty good as far as
coaches Oprah. He might be all right.
He might be all right. Exactly. Right. And so that's what high performance is about for me. It's just like being able to level up and be able to do that. Yeah.
I hear that. Let me ask you this though, because like, look, we have many out there in Startup Nation. They're high performers. They have coaches. They're entrepreneurs. They're business professionals, stuff like that. But what if I'm like at the store level of retail? What if I'm a single parent, stay at home parent or something like that, right? Do I need a coach too?
Absolutely. Understand this. I have clients. I have a client that is one of the top 50 or top 5 small business coaches in the United States. And they have a client that's trying to restart their life and trying to figure out what they're doing.
Interesting.
What it is, it's not about actually where you are in life. It is about where your aspirations are. That's what it really is. So it's like, hey, I get it. You're at this spot and you are working and you're just trying to figure out. The kids are out of the house and now you're in an empty nest. And you didn't finish college because you had the kid and you wanted to make sure that kid got a house and you made them a priority. But what you really wanted was to be able to have this career and be able to create and be able to figure out and be able to change the world.
I hear that.
Right? That's what you really wanted, right?
I hear that.
Then I'm going to help you be able to figure out how we can do that together. That's how it works.
For sure. Thank you for sharing all of that for sure. Let me ask you this, man, because, it's a new year. People are trying to start, their goals, whether it be lose weight, start a company, things of that nature, man. So kind of give them some building blocks, here on KWAM, The Voice, kind of give them some building blocks on how to start that journey and how to become that high performer that you were talking about earlier.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not a big believer in New Year's resolutions, but it's the time of year with it because I feel like the change is as easy as turning over a glass. You can turn over, you can turn a change, make a change whenever you want to in your life. Mm-hmm. But at this point in time of year, which many times it's today is the 13th now, so many of us have already broken our New Year's resolution that we started on the 1st or whatever. As far as that, you wait another week and the gym will be thinned out pretty well, be almost back to normal. Those different things with that. So how do we make it stick? How do we make it stick with 3 C's? You got to be clear about what your actual goal is. You have to know, this is my actual goal. I was listening, my guy, Billy Jean is marketing. I was listening to him yesterday. You know, if you don't deal with cuss words well, you probably won't deal with him well. Everybody has a different thing to do. He cusses a lot of different things. But yesterday he was talking about gray goals. And he's like, what we have these gray goals, right? And so it's black and white. It's in those shades of gray. It's not clear. It is, I'm going to work out this year or whatever. And that's a gray goal. I am going to go to the gym and run on the treadmill for 1 hour a day, 3 times a week. That's a black goal. So now it's black or white, and that's what it is. And so we got to be clear about this is what it is we're going to do, okay? Then you have to understand that the content of that goal. You can say, I am going to make $1 million in the NBA this year. Okay. Can you really do the content of that goal? Do you have an opportunity to get a contract? Are you working toward that? Are you at any place in order to do so? So we have to understand the content of that goal, whether it's even possible to do that goal, or is it something that you can do? Is it something you can learn, or is it something you can delegate? Those things are important, okay? I hear that. And then it's consistency. People, the guy who sits on the end of the bench in the NBA still put up 2,500 shots a day. They still were consistent in what it is they did. Right. And they still would come out here to a rec league and look like Michael Jordan on a rec league against anybody. The guy who's sitting on the end of the bench in the NBA, right? That's what I'm saying, right? They would kill you, right? That's what I'm saying. So that's the thing. We got to be consistent in what we're doing and make sure that we're rocking and consistent in what we're doing, because that's where it goes and that's where the work comes from.
I hear that. Absolutely. I hear that, you know, for sure. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you about that championship belt we were talking about a little bit for sure. This is the Startup Life on KWAM The Voice, AM 990, 107.9 FM. Let's go.
Startup Nation, we tell you all the time that no one does anything great on their own. That includes starting a business or a nonprofit, or even becoming a thought leader or an influencer. My point is that you need a team to do it successfully and responsibly, and that is why you should contact DR & Associates. Danielle and her team provide branding solutions, along with digital and social media marketing that provide tangible results you are looking for. No matter if you are a Fortune 500 company or an author looking to make an impact, DR & Associates needs to be part of your team. They are one of the few firms whose leadership has been recognized by Google, which is proof of concept that they are very good at what they do. Contact DR & Associates today to grow your online presence. The number is 615-933-3681, or you can visit their website at drandassociates.com. Also, make sure you follow their Facebook page as well. DR & Associates, providing real clients with real results. This episode of The Startup Life is also brought to you by our amazing partners at SCORE Memphis. Look, entrepreneurship is hard, and there is nothing like a mentor that can help you navigate those waters. And that is what SCORE provides. SCORE mentors provide years of expertise and have resources that will have you flourishing and profitable on your path to entrepreneurship. If you are in need of a mentor, give SCORE a call. The number is 901-544-3588, or go to their website at memphis.score.org. The link is there in the show notes. Startup Nation, Kenda and I, along with our daughter Zoe, have this thing called Target Fridays if she's had a good week at school. We stop by the snack bar for popcorn and mermaid ices. Startup Nation, don't judge me until you've tried them. Those ices are really good. Anyways, we then head over to the toy section so my daughter can add to her LOL doll collection. My daughter is a pretty good student, so you can imagine that we have spent a small fortune on LOL dolls. However, I can take solace in the fact that Target makes it affordable to buy those LOL dolls and anything else we need as a family. That's because Target believes you deserve quality at an affordable price. And when you're entrepreneurs like us, that's extremely important. But great deals and quality products are not exclusive to the brick and mortar version of the retail store. Target.com has even more exclusive deals that you can appreciate. And when you spend over $35, shipping is free. And I know we all love free shipping. We love to purchase the amazing kids clothes for Zoe from the exclusive to Target Cat and Jack line when we go online. So the next time you listen to the show and you are reminded that you need something for your home, start your Target journey with the link in our show notes, where you can expect more and pay less.
All right, welcome back to the Startup Life. We are here with Ojinga Carr, certified high performance coach, kind of dropping hot knowledge today here on the Startup Life. Let me ask you this, man, because you have an adorable son. He's about 3 years old now?
He's 4 now.
4 years old, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, man. What has your son taught you about living the limitless life?
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you. I mean, first of all, I'm really smart. I have a 24-year-old and a 4-year-old, so I'm really, really smart.
Gotcha.
I started all the way over. Yeah, so that's it. So what has happened is that he has helped me stay young, first of all, and also refocus my life. I was traveling quite a bit. I was on the road. That's just kind of how my life was,
right.
and how my life was set up, like how your bank account is set up or whatever. As
right.
far as that, is that traveling and teaching classes, and so it really is one of the other things that made me really invest in Memphis more was because I wanted to be here because I was on the road quite a bit. I was traveling 2 or 3 weeks out a month, and so I wanted to be able to be here. And it's just I want to continue to shape a better world for him and shape a better place for him, and also be able to teach him to think. I hit the lottery with my parents, but I want him to be able to feel the same way and be able to feel the same way and that same energy and be able to do that. And so that's something that is huge and it's extremely important for me.
I hear that
to be able to do so.
I hear that. You know, like I think our kids have a profound impact on our lives and how we run our businesses and stuff like that, for sure. So I wanted to ask you that. For sure. Let me ask you this, man, because, you know, you talked about, you know, the books that you're writing and stuff like that. Make sure you go out and check out Ojinga Carr's website. We have that in the show notes for easy access if you're listening on the podcast later on. I want to ask you this, man. You know, we always talking about getting better, professional development, stuff like that. What are some avenues for you? Like, how do you get better? How do you sharpen the saw, as Stephen Covey would say?
So one thing that is ultimately important to me, like I said, is having a coach. Being in a coaching program and learning from that. I invest at least $10,000 a year in personal development.
Wow.
Every year. And so that is at least that in personal. So that means that's buying courses. That is, and so we have what we like to call the Limitless Week, Dominic. And so in the Limitless Week, you know, naming conventions are really important. And so it's important to be able to the first thing you got when you got here on this earth was your name. Okay. And so every one of the days of the week has a purpose for us. Today is Talk About It Tuesday that we're recording this on. And so as far as we Talk About It Tuesday, today's the 14th. I said it was the 13th the other day.
It's the 14th.
It says the 14th, yes, exactly. But yesterday was, I'm still thinking it's Monday. But today is Talk About It Tuesday. And so we Talk About It Tuesday, what we do is that we make sure that I talk about my business with every person that I meet. And so because we don't share that with enough. But the reason why I say that is on Wednesday is Work It Wednesday. So on Work It Wednesday, I work in my business, not on my business. I know people talk about the reverse of that, which is important, but I have to make sure that I am a subject matter expert in what I do. So on Wednesdays, that is the day that I listen to podcasts. That is the day that I work on the online courses I have. That's the day that I'm paying attention as far as for coaching sessions. You know, I'll be going to HPX Life in February out in San Diego. You know, I'll attend. I've been to UPW with Tony Robbins on Unleash the Power Within, which is like 5 days of 14 hours of training together, and walking over fire and all kind of crazy stuff like that. But anyway, it's all good. Yeah, but like literally, that's for me. It's all about that. I have to make sure that I am making sure that I invest in myself. But here's one last big thing that's for me. And that is the Saturday, we call it Sanity Saturday. And so on Sanity Saturday, I have to do something that makes me sane, that makes me okay. Because as leaders, and all of us are leaders in our own way, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're working, wherever you're working, you're a leader to somebody. You're a leader to your kids. You're a leader to somebody else, right? As leaders, we have to take time for ourselves.
Gotcha.
And so we have to be able to make sure we're investing in time for ourselves. So for me, that might be barbecuing. That might be whatever. I mean, different things as far as to be able to feel better with that. So yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing that. And that, you know, you talk about taking time out for yourself. That's one of the things we talk about in the Startup Life a lot, that those are those times where it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish, like, you know, because you have to take time to, whether it be professional development or just to decompress, to kind of, you know, reset and refocus and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely.
So we talked about a little bit, man, you know, about the strap the wrestling belt that you have at your events. So I call it a strap.
That's
I'm old school, myth and stuff like that. So I want to ask you this, man. Who's like, because clearly you watch wrestling growing up, right?
Absolutely.
Who's that wrestler that you idolize and you kind of embody them? If somebody would say your coaching style was a wrestler from like the 80s, 90s, or something like that, who would that be?
Yeah, that's a deep question. I mean, there's so much there because like
are you Jerry Lawler pulling the strap down?
I'm a little older than you, so
okay.
Like I grew up with the cartoon wrestlers with the Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog and everything as far as that. And then then when I was in college is when the NWO came out with with the bad Hulk Hogan and Scott Hall and the people as far as that. And then like I was a little older when The Rock really got big or whatever along those lines. But oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. Because I'm originally from Little Rock. I'm not an original Memphian, and so therefore I didn't necessarily get all the Mid-South wrestling with Jerry Lawler and everybody as far as that. So, but I got the WWF before it was WWE. Right. And those things with that. So oh my gosh, but I used to love Hulk Hogan growing up. I think throwing the hands to the ear and everything as far as that. I think so. That might be it. I mean, I'm a nice guy. As far as a coach, I hold people accountable, but I'm not like a jerk. And that's just because, honestly, I never liked jerk coaches for me, when I played for coaches, the best way to get through to me was to tell me what it was that you wanted and be clear about that, and then allow me to go do it instead of screaming and yelling and hollering. Like my dad taught me, he remembered from being in the military that just to I would just phase out when coaches were screaming and just try to pick out whatever that actual directive was that they wanted me to do. Mm-hmm. And so I don't feel like that I should have to do that to my clients or anything. I feel like they should just, hey, let's figure out let's figure out how to get results. I'm results based. Gotcha. That's the big thing. Yeah.
I hear that. Mm-hmm. I hear that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So before I ask the last question, man, I just want to say thank you so much, Ojinga, for coming on the show. Coming on the Startup Life, powered by KWAM, The Voice, AM 990, man. You gave some amazing advice, some great nuggets. But now I want to turn the microphone over to you, man, because there's somebody out there in Startup Nation that feeling a little stuck, feeling a little afraid to kind of jump off that cliff, man. Give them some words of motivation, like, you know what, you got this.
Man, I'm going to tell you. Here's the thing that I want you to, if you're out there and you're stuck and you're trying to figure out, should I start? I want you to be like Nike and just do it. That's the biggest thing. You take the step out and you take the step forward because you develop momentum by actually moving. That's the part of momentum. That's how it goes. So many of us are in that paralysis by analysis where we want that color to be perfect on our website. We want those different things to be there with that. And I'll tell you this. Here's something that I can leave you with. Don't let perfection be the enemy of completion.
That's a big one.
Don't let perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look, those of you who have those whack iPhones out there, you know what I'm saying? They put those iPhones out there, and they're terrible when they get started, and then they fix them. They just go by whatever your issues are you have with them, and they fix them. They're just like a piece of rock that's out there when they put them out there. And by the time they're done, then you finally have a phone with an inferior camera, and it's cool.
Got you. I appreciate that. So once again, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I just want to say thank you so much, Ojinga Carr, for coming on the show, coming on the Startup Life by KWAM, The Voice, AM 990. And Startup Nation, we will see you next week. Be about that life, the Startup Life.
If you want to let us know what you think about our show, have an idea for a show topic, or would like to advertise on our show, send us a message on the Startup Life Podcast Facebook page. And while you are there, like and follow our page as well. It's a great way for us to engage with you, Startup Nation, and really grow our community. The link is there in the show notes. Subscribe to the show as it can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, or even on your Facebook timeline or any other platform you like to get your podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts and you find our content valuable, please give us a 5-star rating, as it will help us climb the charts and help more people find our show. You can also listen to the show on the Startup Life Podcast new website. There you will find the all-new Startup blog, where I write on many topics that are interesting and helpful to you on your path to entrepreneurship. And hey, if you have an idea, be about that life, the Startup Life.